Michael, can you hear me now?
All right.
Michael,
No, yeah,
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Good.
good now. And in fact, I think we might as well start. And I'm just going to say a couple of words because this is the guy we want to hear from. I mean, Jayden has spoken to us before. He's just amazing. I mean, last year he started the Florida Future League PAC. And I immediately sent money, and I hope people here will send, dig in your wallets, or he'll tell you where to send it. I brought a checkbook, but he's supported, his organization has supported local candidates. We had how old was Dominic? He was like 25, something. Yeah. He ran for city council in Boynton. Didn't win. In fact, the guy who won was the one that proposed the statue of Charlie Kirk that got shut down. But and then I heard Dave's running not too far from us for a House seat. He can be in Tallahassee next year after he turns 21, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So take it away.
Yeah, I appreciate you for bringing me out, Mike, as always. I'm back here. It's great to be back here. Good to see familiar faces. Look, right now, nationally, I think we all know this. We are in a terrible time. Okay. We're in a government shutdown right now. We've got Trump doing authoritarian actions in cities across the United States. Here in Florida, Republicans have dominated our governor's mansion and state legislature for 30 years straight. There's no end in sight on any of the things that we've just talked about. And so one of the reasons why I'm running is we have to build a bench and a good future for Democrats in this state and for all citizens in the state. And for me, I don't see much fight right now in Florida. I don't see much fight from our party. I don't see much fight towards the future. And I think in order to change that, we have to build that bench. And so I want to make sure that we build that bench. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm running. The main things that I'm focused on, we have to fix this property insurance crisis in this state right now. I mean, property insurance is our biggest issue. It is pricing out our seniors from our homes. It's making it so that people like myself who are young and in my generation, we don't know when we can own a home in this state right now. That's just reality. I don't know when I can own my own home. I don't have that timeline. We have a lot of people, young people in this state, leaving our state because they can't afford a home here. We had one of the sharpest declines of first-time home buyers in our state compared nationally. One of the sharpest declines in the entire country. Our education is going downhill because the legislature and the governor is cutting the budget every single year, each legislative session. Public schools are being drained of students to private schools because of the voucher bills that they passed. And our colleges and universities are declining in national rankings because of their attacks on higher education. There is a nonstop decline in so many different sectors for this state right now. And I think it is mainly because we have had one party dominate our politics for 30 years straight. Now that's a lot of bad, okay? I've just mentioned a lot of bad. Now here's the good. Everything turns around eventually, okay? And in this state, it's going to take some years. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to take some time. Coming into this, I'm currently and was before the chairman of the Florida Future Leaders PAC, like Mike mentioned. Florida Future Leaders was a PAC that I created in January of last year to register young voters, turn out young voters, and make sure that we have effective campaigning in this state for frontline Democratic candidates in municipal races, so our city commission, school board, mayor, vice mayor, all of these different seats, and our state legislative races, our state house and state senate. So we are focused exclusively to the things that affect us the most. When we started this PAC last year, one of the things going into this was I had no idea what level of success and support we were going to get. We ended up raising $20,000 in our first 24 hours, $100,000 in our first month, and $1.3 million by the end of the year. And it was all students, young people. I was 19 years old last year, 20 now, I'll be 21 in December. But it was all students. And we had worked campaigns before. We had a lot of experience in campaigning, but we had never done something on our own like that. And it took hard work, day in, day out, to try and raise that money to do the work that we did, which was we had 3 million direct voter contacts to young voters in the state. We had registered thousands of students to vote on college campuses in critical legislative districts. And number 3, which I'm most proud of, in a year where nationally the youth voter turnout was down compared to 2020, we had record-breaking turnout on every college campus that we were involved with. And so that shows that we were getting young people out. They were able to voice their beliefs, their thoughts, and we were able to make sure that our generation had a seat at the table in some fashion. Now, of course, it didn't go the way that we wanted nationally, or really in Florida, of course. But again, everything takes time. And we were able to make that difference in making sure that at least these students had their ability to voice themselves in this election and now in the future. And we did some unique things. One of the things was we had Amendment 3 and Amendment 4 on the ballot. Amendment 3 was recreational marijuana. Amendment 4 was the right to choice. And look, students support both of those amendments. And so as a group of students, we tried to do unique things to make sure that young people knew that these were going to be on the ballot. And so for Amendment 4, we passed, and Mike already knows where I'm going with this. We passed out thousands of custom condoms on the college campuses. And the condoms had a message on them that said, "Don't get fucked by the GOP, protect abortion in Florida." So we did some unique things to get the message out there that usually most people would be like, "There's no way you're going to do that." And I said, "I'm going to do it because we're a group of young people messaging to young people who understand what we're going to like." And it worked. And I think it's one of the reasons why we had such high turnout. Now, all that to say is I hope that gives you a little bit of hope that there's young people working at this day in and day out. There's young people that are voting. There's young people that care about the issues. And there's young people that are going to be involved for years to come. But it is going to take time for us to make a big difference in this state. I don't think that Republicans are going to control this state for 40 years straight. They might control it 39 years straight, maybe 38 years straight. Go back, it might take time, but we are going to chip away. And one of the reasons why I'm running is because my district that I'm running in, which is the district I grew up in, I went through elementary, middle, and high school in that district. It is getting closer and closer to flipping to the Republicans. It is a few points away from flipping to the Republicans. It's District 102. So I have a little bit of Davie, Cooper City, Plantation, Sunrise, Pembroke Pines, and that's it. So I've got a good mix there. And what I hear consistently is affordability, affordability, and affordability are the biggest issues. So those are the main reasons why I'm running. I understand that if I win, I'm going into a super minority where there is only so much work that I can get done in the legislative process. But the reality is, I think a lot of our Democratic electeds in this state fail to understand how important the campaigning aspect is when they are already elected. What does that mean? Sure, there's only so much that we can get passed in the legislature. But how many times of the year are we knocking on doors in a non-election year as well, letting voters know that the Republicans won't even admit that the property insurance crisis exists in our state right now? How many people are doing that year in, year out in a non-election year? Because what it seems like is voters think that we're coming around for an election year and that's it for their vote. They don't think that we're coming around in a non-election year. So we've got a lot of work to do, but I feel as though that we have a lot of good fighters ready to make it happen, but we have to mobilize them and we have to make sure that they're energized and they know what the message is. Because I don't think right now we have the message. The message should be about our property insurance crisis, should be about our auto insurance crisis, where we have 1 in 5 drivers on our roads uninsured, which is driving up your costs, is driving up your costs, is driving up my costs. It's ridiculous. We're one of 2 states in the entire country who currently employs the system that we do for our auto insurance. One of 2. And we are the last state in the entire country for auto insurance payments. Yes.
When you talk to people about insurance costs.
Yeah.
And they express their dislike, what kind of feelings are they expressing? Is it anger? Is it concern? Is it worry? Is it what?
It's a good mix, and I'll tell you a mix in a way, in a few different ways. There's a mix of people that are like taking out their thoughts on
I don't
Republicans.
know their thoughts. I want to know their feelings.
The-
I don't want to know their opinions.
There's a level of feeling of like, okay, first off, the legislature and the governor won't admit that this is a problem. Meanwhile, they'll accept millions of dollars from property insurance.
You're not telling me anything about their feelings.
Their feelings is bottom line, they can't afford where they're living.
Are they
So-
angry? Are they concerned? Are they worried?
I mean, if you can't even afford where you're living, I mean, you're getting ready
I
to,
don't know what the feelings are.
right,
I don't want to know what the arguments are. I know, I'm totally with you on these.
Right.
things. I'm totally with you. I want to know how they feel.
yeah,
Because the Democrat
Constantly.
Party tends not to listen to how people feel.
hmm
The Republican Party, for all the things we can say bad about them, listened to the anger
yeah,
and the frustration. And they said, yeah, I'm with you. And I'm gonna fix it. Democratic Party, on the other hand, has been saying, you shouldn't feel bad about rising costs because the GDP is up and the Dow is up.
Oh, they don't do that. Come
No,
on,
it's,
Steve. No, I disagree with that. I'm
don't
sorry.
disagree,
They,
but
no,
I-
you are right, and this is a bugaboo of yours, and I totally agree with this. You know, that maybe the Democrats don't know how to mention a message and they don't listen well.
Sure.
But in this particular instance, I don't see any Democrat that would, especially in this ideal situation for messaging, even if you botch it, you have Republicans who have created this situation. They have a super majority, they have the governor, they have
Yes.
everything, they
Yes.
own it.
Yes.
They own it.
Yes.
So, you know, no Democrat is gonna say,
Yes,
oh, you don't like your insurance? Well, look at the bright side. Well, there is no bright side, you
Absolutely
know?
right. Yes, you're right, Michael. But the question that I have is not about what's wrong. The question I have is how people feel.
Well, I think Jayden answered
And-
that.
and I
Let's
think
move
that-
on.
and I think they're very angry,
Let me just explain.
go ahead.
Michael knows this, but I haven't told you. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing messaging for political campaigns for decades, over 200 campaigns.
Mhm.
And I've got a pretty decent win record. And I've studied a lot of this, and I have taught it in college. I've lectured on political advertising for the Democratic Party in Massachusetts and at Harvard University, amongst other places. So please accept what I'm telling you as a professional, not just an activist opinion. It's a professional statement. And I've done a lot of analyzing of the messaging that has been done over the past 2 or 3 years, and I've done a lot of thought putting together my opinions of it. So it isn't just coming off the top of my head. There's not much on the top of my head anyhow.
Well, I appreciate it.
Actually, what I'd like to do is talk to you in depth after the meeting.
We could do that, absolutely.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
that's a good idea.
Um,
Let's move on.
So yeah, there's a ton of different issues that I hear about every single day from the constituents and from everyday voters, everyday people. And so bottom line is, look, we've got a lot of work to do. It's going to take years, but I'm excited for it because everything starts somewhere. That's always been my mentality. Everything starts somewhere. So yes, let's start.
Yeah, you say the leadership is lacking. What's your opinion of Nikki Fried and the job she's doing at the top of the party?
Great question. So if you
Yeah.
Google my name, you will find articles about my thoughts regarding the state party because I have made that very clear. And if my name is attached to the party, it probably is me saying, we suck at voter registration, we suck at getting a good message out there, and we suck at raising money. And just put Nikki Fried aside for a second. Last quarter, believe the Democratic Party in Florida raised about $500,000. Does anyone want to guess how much the Republicans raised?
Several million,
$5.5 million.
10 times as much.
Yeah.
Insurmountable.
Yeah.
Truly. Number two, we have a massive voter registration program ongoing by our state party right now. We lost more voters than we gained last month, and the month before that, and the month before that, and the month before that, and the month, like months. We're talking about years of like just straight losing voters, and Republicans are gaining voters. But we're putting together a massive voter registration program. I don't see it. As someone who has led a voter registration campaign, the voter registration campaign that I led last year, they actually took credit for our numbers. So that's my thoughts on where we're at as a party. Is it fixable under Nikki Fried? I think so. Everything is fixable under everyone. It just has to, it starts with unifying people first off, because
Yeah.
all of these different clubs, DECs, all of these different electeds, they're in their own worlds, focusing on their own things. When meanwhile, this year, we have so many different important municipal elections. Everything is going to start locally if we're going to build up, right? We have to build our farm system. I don't know if anyone's a baseball fan.
Mhm.
I love baseball. The Mets have an okay farm system, so we might have an okay future. But some other teams have an amazing farm system, so they might have a better future. And we don't build up our farm system in the state at all. And for example, we worked the Don Vargas race, which is local, right? We were the only PAC, statewide PAC, to be involved in that race. We knocked, I think, 20,000, 15,000 doors, something like that for that race. We ended up losing. We were within striking distance. I think it was like 5 points or something like that. And there was no other statewide like awareness of it. Now, another race, for example, we worked in Alachua City, also no statewide attention to it. We were the only PAC involved in that race. Alachua City is a Trump +7 town. Trump won it by 7 points. We ended up electing a vice mayor, 29 years old, Democrat, with a 27-point Democratic overperformance there. That's what happens when we put in work. So that's my thoughts on that. I hope that answers your question. Next, anyone else?
What Jolly's chance?
Look, I think David Jolly's awesome. I think he's a good guy. He's very honest, very uphill climb, but I think it says a lot about him that he's willing to take that leap and try and make this happen. Because the most important thing from our governor candidate, we have to realize the chances of them winning is slim to none. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It means it's very unlikely. But what happens if we have a good candidate and a good campaign from that governor's candidate? That means people on the down ballot have a better chance of winning. And it allows us to likely try and get out of the super minority, hopefully, in the next few years. We have to start with the state house. That's the best shot we have at getting out of the super minority. When we end the super minority in the state house, it allows us to raise more money. It allows us to get more attention in the press. It allows us to actually pass legislation. More importantly, Republicans have to work with us in the legislature to pass things, which currently they don't. They don't have to do any of that. So all respect to David Jolly. I think he's great. It's going to be a tough climb, but the better he does, the better everyone else does down ballot.
You know, when you talk about unity and gubernatorial campaigns, what happened with Charlie Crist was just an absolute, I was disgusted. There was a committee man up in Jacksonville who said if posted on Facebook, if he wins primary, I am gonna stay home and I'm gonna tell everyone I know to stay home, okay? I mean, 1.5 million Democrats didn't vote, 2.5 million didn't vote in that
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you said, it went down ballot.
Yep.
Because that was when we
We
became
lost
the super
5 or
minority
6 seats that year
at
in the
that
House.
point.
Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to say is Maxwell Frost, and maybe he was being overly optimistic, but I love the statement that Florida is not a red state. It's an underorganized blue state. And you know, I mean, that's where if with you and Nick down at FAU
Nick's
and
awesome.
you know, I mean, you are people that are just, you know, blow me away, you know, and you not only have the brains, but the energy, you know, to be doing it. Yeah, my cousin over there is always complaining. We've been doing this for 50 years. I want to go home.
Joan Katz has a hand raised. Joan.
Joan, talk to me.
Good to see you.
See you, Joan.
Thanks. I have a question. What do you suggest that we do to reach out to the young voters for the all-important 26 midterm elections?
Great question.
There's a softball.
Look, I think one of the things I tried to showcase before is that we approached the youth last year on the issues, because the issues are what's going to get them out. One of the things that you know, I've seen in doing this, and just from knowing friends that are not politically involved and also are politically involved, is we have a lot of NPAs in this state, okay? And a lot of the NPAs in this state, the reason why they are NPAs is because they don't feel necessarily represented by any one political party, and then also they never feel outreach to by a political party. And that's no different for Democrats, because doing the work last year, constantly what I hear is a lot of care for the issues, but not an understanding of where certain candidates or political parties even stand on the issues because they've never been outreach to. So I'll give you an example. Amendment 4 was a massive messaging point for us last year with the right to choice. I can't tell you how many young women would come up to me while we were doing our organizing, or I would come up to them and they would tell me that, you know, they are going to vote for Amendment 4. And I would ask them, okay, are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? Are you know, I'm a NPA, I'm an independent. Okay, cool. Are you going to vote for a Democrat? Are you going to vote for a Republican? I'm going to vote for a Republican. They're going to vote for a Republican while voting for Amendment 4. It's antithetical to their own beliefs. And I would ask them, why are you doing that? Just not like no other thing to that. Like just asking, why are you doing that? Well, I'm a Republican. And I'm like, but do you understand that they are the ones making it so that you don't have Amendment 4 passed? And it was that level of lack of understanding that currently exists within our political sphere because of, first off, misinformation, disinformation, and a lack of platform from our party. We don't have a platform oftentimes go to our voters. We think that they know what we're advocating for, but they really don't. They really don't. They think that they know that you know there's problems, but they don't even know who aligns with who. So the most important thing I could say to you is we gotta have issues clear. The biggest issues to youth is the affordability crisis in the state, because we don't know when we can own a home in the state right now. Also, especially with college students, I mean, college students, you know, I don't know if you all have heard about this, but there's a crisis in our country right now where a lot of college students they're not getting the amount of food that they should be eating every single day because they can't afford, you know, they have 20 bucks in their bank account and they're like, you know what, I'll just wait until tomorrow to eat. And they don't even know that they're starving themselves, but they are because they don't have the money to do that. So we have to start with the issues. It's affordability, it's the right to choice, and it's gun violence. I mean, you got to think about this. Youth, myself, grew up doing monthly school shooting drills every single month in school, every single month, starting in elementary school. I went to Tallahassee State College, which is 5 minutes down the road from FSU. I basically lived on the FSU campus when the shooting happened a few months ago. This year, there was a shooting. And a number of our team members for Florida Future Leaders was in the library when that happened. And that's gutting. It's terrible. And it's something a lot of youth, unfortunately, are familiar to. So that's the first part. You got to have the issues. The second thing, someone that I think you know, Joan, locally is Nicholas Ostheimer.
Yes.
I mean,
Amazing. He
just
is
fantastic.
Just amazing.
Fantastic. But he's also a perfect example of like the type of people that we need in this fight in terms of young people, because he is a person that knows other young people that they can branch out from. The most important thing besides the actual issues is you have to have young people organizing young people. And Nicholas is a perfect example of like a frontline person who's going to know other people that can organize. And they're going to know people who can also organize. And we got to have all of these people organizing on the campuses, and they have to have the resources to do it. Having resources for young people is some of the hardest things to do. I know because I tried to do it last year. It's a lot of work, a lot of call time. If you ever run for office, you're going to dread call time. It's the worst thing to exist, right? You're shaking your head. Yeah, it's terrible. Call time is terrible, but I get to talk to nice people like Mike, so that's fun. But yes, getting the resources to young people, focusing on the issues and doing that campus organizing is the biggest thing. I hope that answers your question, Joan.
Jayden, how do we open up more Democratic clubs within colleges? Because I don't believe that even Lynn University has a Democratic club.
Yeah, good question. So it's hard because it depends on whether there's a few factors it depends on. Number one, is it a public university versus private? Is it a commuter school versus a non-commuter school? Doing the work last year sort of made me realize that commuter schools are incredibly hard to organize because a lot of the students there, in the name, commute. They don't live on the campus, which complicates a lot of different things. There's a lot less Greek life. There's a lot less clubs. They're not on the campus as much. So they're just there for their classes, all that sort of stuff. So you got to start with identifying whether it's a commuter school versus a non-commuter school, and also public versus private, because a lot of private schools, they're ridiculous and they have a lot of regulations on what they can have on their campus. That's the first thing. Second off, you just got to have one student. Truly. I mean, you got to have one student that you can branch out from. That's why I mentioned Nick.
Yeah.
Nick is going to know a lot of other people in this area. I know some students that go to certain schools in this area, like FAU. I don't know any other schools that are over here besides Palm Beach State, which I believe is a commuter school.
Yes.
Which would make it harder. But if you can just find one student, and an idea to give, an example, what I found most successful was emailing the professors of political science and government classes and asking them to send to their students any internships that you have, volunteer opportunities that you have, volunteer service opportunities that you have. Same for the high schools, and jobs, because every student needs a job. So.
There's something like that for a woman at FAU when we were down there for the protest. She now was suspended or something for speaking out.
I don't know anything about that. Sorry.
Suspect a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They were what?
She was illegal.
Okay.
She's suspended.
She was suspended to me.
And is she still out?
Well, what exactly happened for what?
Well, she was talking about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear about this. Yes, okay, yeah.
Talking to, she said, look at us, and maybe the.
I don't know when it happened, but I know it happened because I've seen her a few times and she's still out, but she's out there talking, which is very good. If that's
I don't know, nobody's spent on retirement.
That's been one of the things I've heard from a lot of, not even professors, teachers, specifically in our K through 12, is like,
Concerned, they must be worried.
yeah, they feel that they're being watched every single day.
Robert Watson has
Mhm.
been, Dr. Watson, as far as I can tell, he's played, he's in what is he? Is he Gen X? Rock band that he played downtown. I've seen a couple of times that he's appearing, but he's not as active, and I don't blame him, at this point, because they are. I mean, he must be right at the top of their
Yeah.
hit list,
Yeah.
because he's one of the most impressive guys, and has just a great record.
Yeah.
So,
Any other questions?
But
Yes.
Jayden, I just want to add to that, it's Joan. If you could get together with Trevor Fleming and Nick and reach out to get the names of some active Democrats at some of the local colleges in Palm Beach County and start a program and help us out, because we are trying, right, Michael? We've tried for a long time to reach.
but the three of them were at that Indivisible thing in Boca a while back.
So I was actually talking to Nick, I believe yesterday. I will follow up with him and see how I can help.
Expand out to the other colleges. We are
Yeah.
desperate to reach out to them, and we could certainly use your help.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll reach out to him. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Problem is that, the Republicans are very good at having simple slogans for complex issues. And it simply takes more time it's easy to say there's only men and women than to go into the science of gender studies and what it's all about. Same on almost every issue. It's easy to say throw out all the immigrants without looking at the whole system and understanding it. And I don't know how to overcome that.
Can I tell you how?
Sure.
Got a
Yeah.
real quick thought. If I'm elected, I have already thought about this. I've already planned out what my first policy proposal will be. It'll actually match the same exact thought that you just had. My first bill will be called the Floridian Affordability Act, which just off the name alone, you'd look at it and be like, why would anyone vote against this if you're a regular person? Like,
Right.
why would you vote against this?
Yeah.
Republicans are going to vote against it.
Right.
What's going to be in the bill? There's going to be property tax relief specifically for police, fire, nurses, community, teachers, all of that sort of stuff. We're going to have property insurance reform because our property insurance companies are absolutely killing us right now. And there's no regulation against them. And then also at the same time, we have to realize we've got to do things about the auto insurance too. And so we have to make sure that we almost beat them at their own game in certain ways, because they're going to keep doing what they do. And they have every advantage that they can have: voter registration, money, publicity, all of the elected positions. They have the legislature. We have to make life living hell for them in the legislature on the issues that they are failing on, which is property insurance and affordability. So that's just a quick answer on that part. Go ahead. I hope that's fine.
Well, what I was actually going to continue on.
Go ahead.
How do you solve the property, the insurance issue?
Yeah.
Let's forget about property taxes, that's different. That's fairly easy actually, but the insurance issue is not. Because it's a private, enterprise. How do you, do we talk separating hurricane insurance from every other kind of insurance? And I've heard that the state should just do the hurricane insurance. And
So we already have an entity, it's Citizens. The problem is that there's a few things. Number one, we have to have a competitive market in the state for insurance. We also have to balance that with the fact that there's insurance companies that are taking advantage of people. Also, in the same point of that, there's so many lawsuits that happen that are dragging insurance companies, whether rightly or not rightly. There is a happy medium that we have to find in the middle of all of that. I think that there's certain regulation that we need to have on property insurers in our state. One of the things I think we completely fail at is a lot of property insurers in the state don't even publicize why they're doing their hikes. which I think is like a first step. Like we have to make sure that it is well known amongst holders why there is a hike happening. And we also have to make sure that we are inviting companies into our state because we've had a number of insurers leave our state, and that's driving up prices constantly. We have to,
It is, we keep getting hit by hurricanes.
Yes.
This year.
yes, we have to make sure that we have policies that invite them back. Those might not be the sexiest policies for everyday people, but the reality is it's going to drive down their rates eventually. So it's going to be a big mix of a number of different things. The other thing is like, and once I actually get in there, I'll be able to look more in depth on citizens in particular. Citizens, for everyone who knows it or doesn't know, is basically the state last resort. Certain people want to advocate for citizens to be expanded. I haven't made up my mind particularly on it because I want to look more in depth on sort of the numbers of what that looks like. But it was designed to be a last resort, and what we're doing right now is, I mean, the amount of people I think that are getting added to it is and then dropped off as well.
Yeah, I
It's just like
got kicked off.
it's getting ridiculous. The system's always changing for people, so there's a lot of different things that we would have to do. But I think that we have to find that happy medium between the lawsuits, market competitiveness, whatever the other thing I mentioned was. There's a lot of things going on. What did I say?
Next customer.
There you go. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Next.
Registration committee.
Okay.
And a few weeks ago, I had talked with Nicholas, and then a couple days later, I went to the FAU campus. I talked to one of the students that was there at a tabling event that they were doing. And he had mentioned to me that some of the students that are working the table are getting paid. So, and I asked him, and it seems like his opinion was that it's effective for students to get paid, that they seem to be more productive or get more registrations and such. Just curious from your standpoint, are there other places that you guys pay the students to do canvassing or such?
So our team is all paid.
Yeah.
Was all
Yeah.
paid last year. We had over 100 staff members getting paid. Different pay points depending on what the job was. Our organizers, our campus organizers, as we called them, we paid them $18.75 an hour. And it allowed for a level of like morale and dedication that was like, I'm gonna get this shit done. And so I'm a big proponent of paying, but also making sure that, of course, they have the resources to do the job as well, because you have to balance it. I mean, you can't pay them and then not give them anything to, do with it. So yes, we paid our people and we still pay our people, and it definitely allows a whole different level of, getting stuff done.
Do you have any prepared training programs that you do with the students on how to do tabling and how to?
Yes, I do. I sent Nick yesterday. He was asking me about our digital program that we ran, and I sent him all that stuff. If you'd like, I can send him. Okay, I'll send him all of the other training stuff. He went through all of it. So he might even have it himself, but I'll make sure that I send him the whole thing. Yeah. Anyone else?
Michael and I, a couple of years ago, hammered out the contract for Florida. Which was a series of points of which the Democratic Party, what we would do if we got power in Florida. And nobody in Florida Democratic leadership seemed to give a shit.
No.
Well, we can't have enforcement in there, women's rights, because some Democrats oppose it. I was just like, and we had like 8 or 9 things. This is what we will do.
Yeah.
Because people ask, what does the Democratic Party stand for?
Yeah.
And you stand there and go, we're not Republicans.
But Nikki Fried, actually, when I went to hand it to her at when we had all of the tumult in the DEC, and she came down, and they had a listening tour. They sent down to find out what the hell was going on, with Democrats, fighting Democrats and whatever. And I had given a copy of the article that David had written, really, with those points on it. So she was apparently briefed, because I tried to give it to her aide, and he said, I have one already. I said, no, this is a new issue. And she said, oh yeah, I know about that. But that was it,
It worked for David. I mean, it did. It was a contract on America, not
Right.
for America. But, we have as you said, when you said no party
No
platform,
platform.
I laughed.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we tried.
No, the other thing is Kevin, I forget his last name, Cooper, I think, is Miami-Dade chair of the Republican
Yeah.
DCDB. He wrote an article that was published in the Sun Sentinel, bragging about flipping Miami-Dade, and letting us know, that he's coming, that Republicans are coming for Palm Beach County. And he said, we win because we have a simple message. People want safe neighborhoods. They want a secure borders. They want a president who stands up to dictators. They want, and it was all beautiful stuff like that. If you unpack it, you want safe neighborhoods? Well, then why do you vote against gun safety?
Right.
You
Or
want safe borders?
Promote open carry.
Yeah. You want
There goes
safe
Publix.
borders? Why did Trump make the Republicans vote against an immigration bill that was written by a conservative Republican?
Yeah.
You want someone who stands up to dictators? You want someone that sucks up to Putin? One after another. But people, when they read that, they don't take the next step. And the problem, I think, is if you then have to explain that to them, they've gotten in first, haven't
Right.
they? And
Right.
it's that's why I like what you beating them at their game,
Yeah.
calling it the Affordability Act.
By the way, I think we should do voter registration at laundromats.
That's actually, it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's people are trapped there. They'll read anything. They're stuck. And there are people who don't own homes.
Yeah.
So.
You're right. Because that's the ones.
What's his name again? What's his name again?
He's great.
It's your cousin, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. David for party chair. Let's make David party chair. Yes.
One of the groups that was strongest for the GOP this past election was young men.
Yeah.
And you keep hearing that it's because of the social media, they're ahead of the Democrats. How can that be turned around?
Great question.
No.
This is something I've thought long and hard about. One of the things that is really most striking to me about young men flipping is that if you look at the gender breakdown, young women are becoming so Democrat. And I mean, it was honestly, it's amazing to see how big the gender gap is among youth. And it was actually what designed our entire programs last year. If you look at the programs and all the things that we did last year, it was actually completely geared to women, which was kind of hard for me to do as a male. So everyone else on the team was young women to try and balance that out. But it's a massive problem. And I think we'll start with the causes. Number one, there's a level of like masculinity that has become completely politicized and like, what would be the word? It's just toxic, I guess. Toxic would be the word. Where, and I don't want to give anything to Donald Trump, but I have to say this. Guy got shot in the ear. Wasn't like, okay, it was bad. Wasn't the face, but he got shot and he turned around and he puts his fist up and he looks like a macho figure of like, I'm the man. And if you are a 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old man who, you don't, just going to say this, you're not as confident in yourself as you should be, or, you're just figuring yourself out. You look at something like that, you're like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that. That changes things. And I'm
Yeah.
using that as just one example of many. There's a lot of different things. Like,
Shot fired.
what's up?
Shot fired.
I don't know if that would have worked.
Yeah.
If he was really.
Yeah, right, sure,
I-
say that.
If he was shot, I think it was stage man.
Yeah, we're not
Think of
doing
the ear.
I have no comment on
Yeah,
that,
right,
not the
right,
FBI.
right.
With young men, it is constantly a battle of what is getting in front of their face and how masculine is it, basically. And to young men, and I know this because all my friends tell me this, that they always ask me, Jayden, why are you, my best friend's a Republican, was a Republican, now he's a Democrat. Got him, I got him straight.
One.
But he voted for Trump last election. Now he's a registered Democrat and hates what Trump is doing now. But he voted for Trump. And the one thing that he always tells me, and I'm like, he is so right, because I feel the same way, to be honest. We are so weak as a party. We are so weak. We do not because we don't have a platform, we have everyone doing their own thing. And then at the same time, no one has any balls. So everyone's just sitting there, okay, it's the truth. And young men look at this and they're like, this is such a weak party,
Yeah.
weak group of people, for example, the trans issue is a really big issue amongst young people. And I actually think that it's a relatively easy thing to solve. It's like, who gives a shit? Just
Right.
let people live their lives.
Right.
Instead, we go down the rabbit hole of, we got no, it is, I don't care. It's not my business. Who cares? And if we had that message, I'm telling you, 80% of young men would be like, I don't give a shit. Why should I care? But instead we go down that rabbit hole of trying to they should be in the bathrooms and this bathroom should be this. They want us to get into that.
Yeah.
They want us to get into that. And we buy it. We buy it wholesale every single time. And it kills us. And so, yes, there's a social media level that needs to change. It also is our messaging. We need to have a messenger that is a male, that is not, getting into the garbage that the Republicans want us to get into. I don't know who that is right now, to be honest with you. It needs to be a national figure.
Well, he had Hulk Hogan, he had the UCF.
Right.
That all is macho.
Right.
image. And yeah, you're right, they grab that.
And so we need to find who that person is for us.
Newsom so far is the only one.
People say
Pittsburgh.
we need a Joe Rogan of the left. It's not even a Joe Rogan of the left. You just need a normal dude, just a dude that is a Democrat. And I'll give you an example of someone who I think could be a good example, although I don't think he'll ever do it. If anyone's familiar with the comedian Shane Gillis, he's a massive comedian now. And he's leaning liberal, but as a party, we've never approached him, I guess. So whatever. Yeah. Shane Gillis. Gillis. When you see his face, you'll see that you know him. He's been on a lot of commercials. You watch the Super Bowl, you see him on he's a big guy. Yes, Laura, talk to me.
I need to talk to you.
Talk to me.
I need to talk to you.
Talk to me.
Because I'm really struggling. I'm struggling to be a Democrat right now.
Yeah.
And I'm running for office. And one of the reasons I'm struggling is because of the Democrat. And everybody gets mad at me for saying this, but nobody wants to listen. I'm finding that the main problem with the Democrats is that nobody wants to listen. And we want to tell you things, and I'm not as young as Jayden, but I'm middle. I'm middle. And I was at Edwin Ferguson. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, oh,
know.
yeah.
Right, I was there yesterday.
Who is it?
I was there
I think
yesterday.
he's a,
I was there
school board member.
yesterday.
He's the only one that spoke up,
Michael.
I say to ask you a question. Is he the only one that spoke up, the 6-1
Yeah.
vote about Charlie Kirk?
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
And he said that people should not lose their teaching certificates over comments made about a racist bigot. Okay, I also agree with that.
They want him to resign from that.
And last night was horrific, but I will tell you what I saw last night. And I will tell you what the Democrats do not do. is embrace people.
Yes.
You guys push us away. And this is my own push. I could go to any Trump rally right now. They would put their arms around me. They would give me a t-shirt. They would give me a hat. They would invite me to their homes. And they would say, what can we do with you? And then I wouldn't see them for a while. I'd show up they'd be best friends. They all know each other. And there's a community. I feel too, one of the reasons that they're getting up, it's hard to be a man. It is. It's different than men to find their masculinity, right? Everybody's so lonely right now.
Yeah, they are.
It is so easy to pick up those boys.
Right.
They can just pick them up, pick them up, pick them up, pick them
Yeah.
up. Cause they're looking for something.
That's
There's
right.
girls
That's right.
that'll speak to them. Every Democrat thing I almost always go to, it's like, why? Why am I here? Why are they not fun? Why are we not making things enjoyable? Why are we not making registering voting fun? Like I always I'm like, let's do a disco. They get $5, they bring a thing, they come in free. Like, let's make it fun. Not saying disco, I'm just saying, let's create joy.
Yeah.
Joyful resistance. And I really see joyful resistance missing from the Democrats. I really feel that it's missing from Florida. I feel none of our leaders, Lois Frankel, none of them, they do not help us. They do not train like Kamala Harris did, like Matthew Frost, and no one helps us. No one, no. I've gone to them. They couldn't be more. You know who reaches out to me? Gretchen Whitmore's people. I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
Kids reached out to me
Yeah.
to like find out how I am,
Yeah.
to find out how my campaign's going, to keep an eye on me. Is Gretchen Whitmore's people.
The big.
Have I had any help from the Democrats in Florida? No. Have I had any love from the Democrats in Florida? No. And another thing that's going on is that all the Democrats gave all their money and were not wise enough to realize that we were going to lose that election. When they hear people like me say, I knew we were going to lose, they get mad at me. Everything I say that's etched in truth, people get mad at me. And now the Democrats are not giving money.
No leadership.
They're good candidates that you guys are not like, I'm here, I'm a great candidate.
You are.
No, but like I am, I'm a fantastic candidate.
Where's she running?
But
Safe.
I speak to
Save
people
that.
and they're like, the big donors aren't gonna give you money this year. Because of everything that they've gone through, so.
Yeah. Well, I heard that too. There's some big thing down in Hollywood or something that everybody went to. One of my friends from Stewart was saying maybe Free just kind of only talk to the highbrows. of
Yeah.
it. Did
No, I
not
was
work
there
that-
in Hollywood
did
too.
Not work that.
I was
well.
in Hollywood.
That really got my.
Michael,
I really
Yeah.
feel that.
you have her come up in front so we can see her. I'd like to, I can't hear who's speaking.
I'm sorry, I just.
Hang on, hang on.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, I was thinking, because it's such a great, I won't say rant, but it was.
Yeah. So can you raise your hand? Who you are?
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you. We love you.
And Laura, what are you running for?
I'm running for State House, District 87.
Oh, you're, oh,
So I was just
okay,
on the news
Caruso's, oh,
yesterday,
geez.
and we're getting press and, a lawsuit has been, not by me, no comment, but we're getting press because the seat hasn't been filled.
Where is it?
Right.
It's the bottom of Lantana, like the top of Lantana, Hypoluxo, east of Dixie, all the way up.
Oh, is that the
to
Mike
Northeast.
Caruso's?
The Mike Caruso.
Yes,
It's
Caruso.
the most gerrymandered district you'll
Yeah.
ever see.
You're right.
I've also
Oh, that's
gone up
great.
in
I
front
didn't
doing
know.
stuff in front of
Yeah.
Democrats.
That's
I
it.
get yelled at, I get
Win, sure.
scolded, I get called by representatives.
Yeah.
Can you give us your contact information?
But
Could you give us your contact information, please?
Yeah, I
here,
could put it in the chat.
That'd be great.
Okay, Laura, why don't you
I'll bring it.
dictate it? Okay,
How about that?
I'll type it in meanwhile.
They was-
No, wow. It's so nice to meet
Read
you.
it out.
I've read your stuff before, that's
Yeah.
why I came.
Yeah,
Mike,
yeah.
I sent you a list.
Oh, okay.
Read it out.
Laura, you're talking.
Okay.
On the record.
Uh,
Beach Democrat
You.
Club online.
Okay, hang on, I'm looking,
Yeah,
The website, I guess you can donate there is
I have one primary. opponent,
Laura
yeah.
Levites.com.
Yeah.
Levitis. like
Levitis,
seeds.
okay. So vote Laura, LEVITES.com. Email is Laura@VoteLauraLevitas.com.
Thank you.
Phone number is 561
Mhm.
247-1124. And you're the only, there's
No,
no
I-
comment. Oh, you do? Okay, well, we can't endorse people, but we can, we can individually support people. Yeah.
There is a primary, and the Democrats are also very interesting about not supporting people, but they do behind the scenes.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, actually, both of you, one of the things you hear most often about Democrats, the biggest complaint is they don't listen. You know, they talk, you know, which is why it's so great to have you when we went down and heard you and Trevor and Nick. I mean, it was just, you know, that's what needs to happen.
Right.
You know, I mean, you have to be telling, we have to be listening to you, not talking to you.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
in general, talking to voters. You know, Steve's nodding his head there. That's one of his big. I know. No, I mean, it's so, and there is this tendency to do that because you want to explain your position
Right.
or whatever, you know. Somebody once posted something, I forget where, complaining about, you know, you look down on us, you know, you look down on us, and the person wrote back the best response ever. Oh, yeah, you vote against your economic interests, you do this, you do that,
Right.
you don't read, you don't know anything, so yeah, we look down on you. But of course, that doesn't help because all they hear is the last line that they're being looked down on.
Right.
Anyway.
Primary when?
So my primary is August of next year.
Okay.
My general is in November. I've been in the race for 2 months now. My primary opponent has been in the race for I'd say 9 or 10 months. So I came into the race after him, well after him.
He's already.
He had entered the race. He's raised over $100,000. 50,000 of it is his own money. So he's self-funding. He's a dentist. I came in 2 months ago, and I've already outraised him. I'm at $130,000. Thank you. Thank you. So as far as the Republicans, I have one Republican that is an extremist, I would say. And I have another Republican who I actually think is a good person and just happens to be a Republican. So I feel very good about where we're at in the campaign. It's a long ways to go, but I'm going to keep working at it. You know, one of the things is, you know, I've got to make sure I knock my doors, and I'm excited to get to. I'm actually doing my first canvassing on what's today? Thursday? So Saturday, I'm doing my first canvassing for my campaign. And I'll be doing that every week moving forward until the election, which is going to be fun. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, any other questions from anyone that I can answer?
You gonna stick around? when you talk?
I'll stick around.
Do you the sunrise movement?
Yes.
Right?
Are they around in Florida as much?
You're in Miami.
Nice.
I don't, yeah.
So I got an email that possibly wasn't meant for me. Okay. And they're like, join this phone call. And I was like, okay, sign up for all these things because I'm running. I never always know what I'm signing up for. And I got into this room of like students. Some were in high school, some were in college. And they were talking of they want to disrupt. My question for you is, now that they're going in that direction, how do we bring them a little bit over here? Cause they're so into being activists now. And disrupting, their whole thing is they want to disrupt, but they are organized. I was on a call, you take a break and then they put you with 4 people, then you go back in, they put you with another 4 people.
Huh.
The amount of passion and the amount of interest was beyond beautiful, and the kindness. But like, how do we take that and make it political?
I mean, look, with youth, you have such a wide range. Those people, for example, are already engaged, which is awesome. It's about trying to bridge the gap to all the other people that are not engaged. And so I think it starts with maybe not all the time, disruption or, maybe this is an extreme word, but like chaos sometimes. But what we really need is to make sure that they're actually just organizing their peers. I mean, that's the most powerful thing that they can do.
Yeah.
And so the Nicholas Ostheimers of the world, like I've mentioned before, those love
Right.
it. He said hi, I guess. We need to equip them with the resources. I mean, everyone needs money, right? Everyone needs money. But you're going to give your money, I'm sure, to whatever you believe in, whatever candidate. Maybe there's a candidate out in Nebraska that's asking you for money, because I know every single one of you here probably gets blasted with emails and texts. What I would ask of you is to think long and hard about where your money should go to make the biggest impact. And in
Yeah.
Florida, maybe it's the future. Maybe it's
Yeah.
young people.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's focusing on whatever local PAC is organizing to register young people. Maybe it's a statewide PAC. Maybe it's a candidate running for local city commission. Maybe it's Jayden D'Onofrio. I'll take your money. But you have to really think about it. And what I always see from people that want to support is like people spread their money across all these different candidates. Be specific, I would say. Have like a specific person, campaign, or like organization that you are like, this is what I'm supporting. Because it allows just as someone who runs an organization, it allows me to understand who our biggest supporters are, but it also allows me to make sure that I'm accountable to them. That I call Mike, here's what we're doing with FFL, keep you updated. I would like another check if you want to give another check, but
You don't have to.
But I try to keep everyone that supported us updated on where we're at. And I like to think that every other organization or campaign does the same. And when you have a specific group or campaign that that this is your campaign, this is your group that you're supporting, that could make all the difference, truly. Whereas $5 here to this guy, $5 to this guy,
Right.
you're spreading yourself. You're not making any level of actual real support for whatever you actually care about. Okay. So that's what I would say on that. I'm thankful that I could be here. I look forward to talking with each of you. On a very real note and a very hard ask, I do need to raise money. Every dollar goes a long way. $25, $50, $100. The max is 1,000. If you say, Jayden, I want to give you 1,000, I will give you a kiss if you want. But seriously, anything helps. Okay. And my hope is that by the end of this campaign, I'll have raised $175,000 to $200,000. And any money that I have left over from this campaign, I plan to give to our most competitive state house seats so that we can try and flip them.
Wow.
And we have to make sure that we flip them, because I'm not in the super competitive district. I got to win my primary. Once I win my primary, I'm sending my money over to those most competitive districts.
Yeah.
And I hope to be able to do that. You have a question? Florida Future Leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just Google that. And before we break, Brian, didn't you want to say something about
I just
organizing?
I'm about to become next summer the zone leader for this whole area of Boynton Beach, pretty much specifically, and from the Boynton, from Atlantic up to, Boynton Beach Boulevard, and, it's a big zone, and we've got over 90 districts, and right now we've got about 5 or 6 POs, precinct organizers.
Out of the whole,
Yeah, so I mean, we're desperate to get people, and we have a big election that Joe Casello seat is coming up for election on December 9th. We're about to start making phone calls. We've held off until now because it was too far away, but now it's on top of us, and we can't lose this seat, the state.
Rob
representative.
Long is great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah,
yeah.
he should.
Well, you talk about young, leaders. He's not as young. But Brian, Shar and I are zone 12, and actually there were more District 90 voters in zone 12. But we got to get going on it too. But in terms of precinct organizers, that's one of the problems.
Yeah.
We have 40 precincts in zone 12, and what do we have?
They're not
Maybe,
filled?
out of the 40, we might have 15 filled, and of those 15, people are not so active anyway, so it's a lot to ask of people. It's a lot of work being a precinct organizer. So,
Brian,
Yes,
you don't go down to Atlantic, we do.
okay, well.
You're up
Boynton up,
north
yeah,
of Gulf
yeah,
Stream.
Yeah, Gulf Stream.
Oh, yeah.
Gulf Stream up.
Michael, I just wanted to tell Brian that on November 8th, we're going to have a phone banking session over at the office in
Right here.
Congress Avenue. Yeah, where you are right now. And that notice is going to be going out shortly from the Boynton Beach Democratic Club and a couple of other clubs.
right. So,
Get some people down.
all right, I think if there are no more questions, I'm gonna get my checkbook out right now.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Anyone else? And also, you are, I mean, if you Google Jayden, it's online.
Yeah, you
too.
can
I
go to
mean,
my
you can
website,
donate,
jaydenforflorida.com, JAYDEN
Michael,
for Florida.
do we have money to make a donation on behalf of the group?
we can't do it as a club
Yeah.
because it's
I'm talking about the FFA.
what?
I'm talking about the FFA.
Oh, FFL, he's saying, for the PAC.
Oh, yeah. We've done that before.
I
We
think,
can
yeah.
do that again. Yeah.
I
No, we
appreciate
do.
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I'm a big fan of that idea.
No,
Appreciate
but
that.
I mean, getting you elected is something that would be great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
I
appreciate it.
can't believe I looked Nick up. He didn't. I looked him up on Van,
Yeah.
and I saw he didn't vote. He didn't vote in the election. And I looked. Well, he didn't
Not
vote.
old enough.
Look, he was 17
Yeah.
last year
Yeah.
in the election.
He'll get his first one next year. Yeah.
He missed it by like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you for having me.
Jayden,
Jayden D'Onofrio.
No, no.
I always.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been great for me. I mean,
Or-